Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today I want to talk to you guys about why most people are poor and unhappy. So where do we start? We're going to start where the foundation is, and the foundation is the mind, right? So when we think of our mind, what do we think about? Thoughts. Basically, right? Thoughts and recurring thoughts, belief systems, values, programs, ways of seeing different things, ways of looking at money, ways of looking at people. So if our foundation is not stable, it's not concrete, it's not sturdy, it's not firm, then the rest of our life and how we proceed is going to reflect how our foundation looks, right? So if your mind isn't right, the rest of your actions, the rest of how you deal with people, the rest of what you do and the behaviors you commit is going to reflect on how your mind is, right? So poor people and individuals who are unhappy have values that aren't conducive to happiness and being rich. What do I mean by that? So most people live for instant gratification, and they just want to live life avoiding being uncomfortable. They just want to be comfortable. They just want to experience pleasure. They're going around, they're finishing their Fridays, they're turning on ESPN, they're hanging out with their friends at the bar, they're self-sabotaging, and they're repeating it over and over and over again. And they're also like a hamster in a rat wheel. They're not taking any time to think, reflect, contemplate, set goals, write, journal. They're just like robots, essentially, right? Because what do robots do? Robots just do things. They're not conscious, right? And most human beings are instilled with programs and belief systems by society, by the school system, by their friends, to think a certain way about money, to think a certain way about government, society, health, fitness, right? So we have a situation here where it's not that people are doing the wrong things. Yes, that is part of it. But the reason they're doing the wrong things and the reason that they're indulging in destructive habits is because their foundation isn't it's not built on values that are conducive to a better life. Their value system, their belief systems, their thinking process, their lack of planning and strategizing is the reason that they're unhappy, that they're broke, that they just are miserable in their lives, right? So when you don't get the foundation right, everything else just completely dissipates. Their life dissipates, and they continue to self-destruct until they may reach a pain threshold where they are open to change, but most people just deal with it, and their lives are a reflection of their foundation, and it's a miserable existence. So that's one thing, right? However, if your foundation is strong, right, and you have the right belief systems, you have long-term thinking, you have values that are moving you in the right direction, then the actions that you take and that you proceed from that foundation will move you in the right direction. They will move you towards your goals, your aspirations, where you want to go, right? And one other thing, right? So the foundation's cool, right? And I just talked about how the foundation is important, and how when you have the right foundation, you take actions that are in alignment with that. One aspect of that that's very important is habits, right? Because basically what Aristotle said is what we repeatedly do, we become. And excellence, therefore, is not an action, but a habit, right? So if we're thinking in a certain way, if we're thinking healthy thoughts, if we're thinking positive thoughts, then we're going to do things that are positive, that are life affirming, that are generative, that make us feel more alive, that give us energy. Think of people that are poor, right? What are some common things that they indulge in? They indulge in drinking, cigarettes, hanging around toxic people, gossip. What are all those things? What do they do to you? They drain your energy. They drain you down, right? Why do you think a lot of like successful people have a lot of energy? Because they're around people that are positive, and their habits are life affirmative. Typically they're in the gym, right? They're eating healthy. They're spending time outside, right? They're not these people that are just inside all day on computers, or, you know, drinking and watching TV. Those aren't those types of people, right? So when we proceed from that place and we cultivate habits that give us energy, that give us life, then we start to move in the right direction. However, the opposite is also true. When our foundation sucks and we participate in habits that are not life affirming, we descend, right? We descend down. So that's really, if you really want to boil it down, that's really the difference, right? That's the reason why a lot of people are poor. It's because their foundation sucks. And the thing that's very sad about the foundation for a lot of like poor people is that they're not willing. Like, there's times in their lives where people will offer them like solutions and you know, like cures to their issues and their problems, but they're just not open to change. That's another thing. Like a lot of these individuals, their programs and their belief systems are so hardwired that they're not even open to change, because it's so hardwired and it's so concrete in their mind that if it's ever broken, if it's ever challenged, it seems so life-threatening. Because that's, you know, if you've lived with a way of thinking for 30, 40 years, and then someone all of a sudden is like, hey, you ever thought about maybe changing this way about yourself? People are going to be very hesitant to it, because it feels so comfortable, right? They've been living with it for so long that a threat to it or someone who challenges it seems scary, because they've never seen a different side to life. They've never done things that are uncomfortable, that are different, that take long to cultivate, right? They're so used to their ways of thinking, their being around their friends, living in their hometown, that anything that opposes that is seen as scary and uncomfortable. And that is the truth. It is, right? However, are you being comfortable in your situation? Is that very comfortable though? If you're depressed, miserable, thinking negative thoughts all the time? I don't know. But that's basically it, guys. That's the main reason why a lot of individuals are poor and just unhappy, walking around, sleepwalking. They're like rats on a hamster wheel, never taking time to think and strategize and meditate. Never. Always doing something, always busy, always rushing, always just moving around like a robot. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe. If you have any comments, anything, feel free to leave them down below, and I will do my best to get back to you. And as always, I hope you guys have a good one. Peace.